conversation with Tall Chicks and Asian Chick.
Hi guys, we're here today with Shanna Collins.
Hi,
Shanna is the infamous poet.
Yes.
I hope you don't mind if I introduced you that way.
No, I don't mind.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited. Tell us who you are.
So I am the infamous poet. I write poetry, and I like to inspire people through my poetry. Many times we as women or people in general tend to lose our power in life. And we tend to lose our motivation. We tend to lose our strength. And so part of what I do through poetry is speak to women and speak to like everybody and empower them through my poetry. So
Wow.
that's what I do.
So this is my first time meeting you. Where can I find you at?
You can find me on Facebook. My name is Shanna, Shanna Collins, Collins, and that's my Facebook name. And then you'll see my picture with my fiance's picture, and it's on Facebook.
Where can we see you in live?
Oh yes,
Yeah, that's what
yes.
I mean. Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes, live
Yes,
shows.
live
Yeah, we'd like to
stream
come
on
and see.
Facebook. Yes. And then
but-
also Instagram. Instagram is MZNEWNEW83. That's my Instagram.
MCNEW83.
Yes.
Well, we put the description down. We'll let our audience know that.
Okay.
So tell us, how did you get started?
So how I got started, I've been writing poetry since the age of 15.
Okay.
And so I recently I found the love through poetry, like how it lifts you up, how it gets you out of things and gets you out of that depressed mood, you know. And so I found myself writing poetry and been inspired to help others to grow through that, you know, grow through their situations and circumstances, which is why I want to become a life coach to help people through my poetry with their, you know, problems in life. Not only through poetry, but just being a woman in general, just going through daily life, you know, helping them get through their struggles.
Can you say one for us?
Yeah.
Like a short one.
So, I will never.
Okay.
It's called this piece is called I Will Never. I will never live my life to make others shine. I will never let myself go to make you feel comfortable. I will never destroy my peace to give you freedom. I will never delete myself to accept you. And so that's just a little part of I Will Never. It's called I Will Never. You know,
Beautiful.
so,
Powerful.
yeah.
And powerful. Definitely.
So I wrote that because it's a lot of things that we will never do. We will say we'll never do it again, but I will never confirms and affirms what you really need to do. You know, in order to move forward and grow past your issues and your circumstances.
Okay, I'm gonna get a little bit personal.
Okay.
Because did you experience hardship in life, and so this is a type of doing poetry is bring you out, help you
Yes.
become who you are
Yes.
today?
It brought me totally out of shit. Like, poetry has made me a totally different person. Like, I've experienced like relationship hurt, you know, family hurt, you know, different things in my life. I've written poetry about it all. I've even written a poem about, I can write a poem on anything. I know in February I read something on Black History. I read something on being a queen, you know, how we are queens in our own right. And I've written things on finding peace, just journey up your path to peace and your path to freedom. I've written several different things on different journeys that I was in life and different spaces, and it's just helped me to like get out of that, mode. I've even written a piece, and I don't think anybody in the Lions team or anybody knows this, but I struggle with bipolar.
Really?
Yes. Nobody can ever tell. So you can never tell because I'm always being creative. You have to keep yourself going.
Yes.
So you have to be very resilient when it comes to that. And the only way that you're resilient is if you have the right motivation around you. It's all about energy. And your energy has to be powerful around you in order to overcome that obstacle. That obstacle, it affects a lot of people differently. But for me, it was the fact that I know that I'm powerful. I know that there's a greater source. And I look at people that have problems or mental illness as creative beings that don't know how to express themselves. And a lot of times they can express themselves, but it's always through poetry and music and everything. So yeah, that's the thing that I've never even shared with like anyone new in my space. But yeah, that's
it's kind of like go with the flow, even though you're messed up.
Exactly.
Just go with it. Nobody's gonna tell. But if they did, it's okay.
Right. It's okay. Yeah.
So I know Amber. She know a lot of people through the Line team with Ellen. So maybe tell the audience maybe they want to reach out to Alan. Maybe they want to be part of this Lion team.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So how did you guys connect? How did you know about
So
Alan?
I learned from Alan through an open mic night. I went to Betty Ray's Ice Cream in the city market. I love Betty Ray's.
Yes.
And I went to the ice cream shop and I picked up the open mic sheet and I was like, I want to try this. Something new I've never done. I was like, you know what? It's time to get out the box. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go there. I'm going to read my poetry. And I had written like 2 new pieces that day because I could write at the drop of a hat. And so I written 2 new pieces that day. And I was like, I'm going to go when open mic comes. I'm going to go. And I asked them, could I have like 10 minutes? It was like 10 minutes a session, but I asked them, could I have 20? Because I want to read more. And so they said, sure. So I seen Alan read his, and I was like, I like that. And then I didn't know that he was going to be, looking into. I didn't know he was going to be in the audience. When I was there, I thought he was going to leave, but he did not leave. He stayed. And when I say I captured that audience, I captured the audience. They were like, I was like, wow. And it was so quiet. When I got done, it was a standing ovation. And I was like, wow. So that's how I met Alan. After that, we had like a meet and greet with everybody. I walked up to him, and he said, you have to come speak tomorrow night at Lion Connect. And I was like, you're going to be our special. He was like, you're going to be our special guest. And I was like, okay. And so I was like, okay. I was like, great, I'll do it. I was just so excited and ready to like embrace everything. And so I went and I did my poetry, and I've been blossoming ever since. The Lions team has been a lifesaver to me. And then joining the Lions Academy, the Speakers Academy, and getting my life coaching certification has been nothing but amazing. It starts September 25th. I'll start my Speakers Academy, and then we'll go full force from there. So it's a very good experience. So far.
I haven't attended a meeting, but it's being around like-minded people with positive. All they want from you is the best.
Yes,
that's it.
And that's all the Lion team requires from us is the best. Like, be your authentic self. Love individuals. Love individuals other than
it's okay.
Love influences others naturally. There it goes.
It's kind of
I knew it was coming.
It's kind of
But that's what Lion stands for.
Yes.
Yes.
I I know it's kind of hard. Sometimes we're in
Right.
front of a camera. It happened to me all the time.
Right.
Um,
But yes.
Are you an introvert?
No.
Okay.
I'm an extrovert. I'm a little bit of both.
Okay, so you're like,
So-
depend on who.
Right. But yes, I'm the life of the party.
I have to ask that because I know a lot of people are well spoken or very liked by other people, but really they're like, I'm an introvert. So that it's kind of interesting for me to kind of to know if you're an introvert.
I'm both.
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 Okay. Yes.
Yeah. I retreat into myself a lot. Like this past week, I had a situation to where I was feeling a little defeated, you know, with thinking about what's coming up, the Lions Academy and everything, you know, and thinking I was like, I was just a little defeated with everything going on. You know, everything happened so fast, and then you hear someone around you that is not so encouraging, and then that gets into your psyche, and you're like, okay, what's going on here? You're supposed to be encouraging me, you know, and so you tend to take that and you tend to not embrace it, but it tends to worry you, you know, and unconsciously.
Think twice.
And so yes, and you think twice about a lot of things, and so I was thinking twice this week about a lot of things, but you know what? I had to get out of my head. I had to say, girl, get up, move on, get with life, you know, get with it. Because if you don't get with it, then it's going to it's going to get with you, and time is going to keep rolling.
And you're saying that you're gonna miss the
Miss that
opportunity,
opportunity.
and you're gonna regret it.
Yes, correct.
So Amber and I both experience this. We say that the closest people in our life are the most negative people, and sometimes we just have to learn to give them positive energy and just move forward.
Exactly. And that's what I've been doing, giving positive energy and moving forward. You know, because I still have to be myself no matter what. I still have to be my authentic self. So as long as I'm my authentic self at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you think about me. It doesn't matter how you feel about me. I'm myself.
Yes.
And as long as I've given the world my authentic self and I've kept enough for me to still be authentically me, that's all that matters.
So, do you have a full-time job, or is it poetry is?
Well, I wish poetry was my full-time job. I wish I could make 10 grand off just poetry.
we do too.
Right. But I work for Synchrony Financial right now.
Okay.
That's until I get my life coaching, everything off the ground. So I work for Synchrony Financial at home. It's work from home position. And it allows me to still, have that work-life balance. They have a lot of work-life balance, actually. I go to work from 2:30 to 11, and then in the daytime I'm free to do what I want to do.
That's good hours. It really is good hours.
So,
like, once again, my next question went blank. And where you gonna take over?
Yeah, so you have a lot of powerful advice to give. What is something that you could tell our viewers when you get hung up on something, or, maybe you have a negative person, or, because, every day is not going to be 100%. Every day. I mean, we strive for 100%, and we're giving our authentic self 100%, but sometimes our authentic self is tired. Sometimes our authentic self needs some motivation. What would you say to that?
So I would say to your authentic self, self-care is the best care. Take some time to take care of you. Your mental health, your emotional health, and your physical health matter. Because if you give your all to everyone else, you will not have anything left for yourself. So therefore, I would say to your authentic self to sit in the moment, embrace what you feel, because your feelings a lot of times are valid. You'll never invalidate your feelings, But basically, take it as take it as it is, but move forward. Like never get complacent.
Yes.
Pretty much. So never take the negativity and wear it on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Take the cape off and move forward.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we can get caught up in the superwoman or the superman mentality, and we don't know how to come out of that mentality. We don't know how to just be, And so if we take some time, in essence, to just be who we are, then we can embrace everything around us. And when you embrace everything around you, then you're able to recalibrate, and you're able to rethink, and you're able to, realize that, hey, maybe there's more left to me than what's going on.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
That's very
deep.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm very deep.
No, apologize for that. I think a lot of people struggle with that. Getting deep, getting there. They feel it, but they can't put words to it. So you have a gift of being able to put words to those feelings. And people are like, what you're saying, that's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to feel. So yeah, absolutely.
I guess finding time for yourself, family, but yet you have to find
that alone time. That's where my introvert comes in, because I retreat to myself a lot. I think all the time. I'm Aquarius, so I'm constantly thinking. Look, very aloof, very in my own world. I can be driving down the street like, and they're like, what you thinking? It's a red light. I'm like, oh, red light? Okay, let me stop. But it's like I'm just thinking about the future, and thinking about what could be, thinking about what's happening around me, always thinking, about what could be better. Well, how could I make things better? How could I change lives? How could this be happening to this person? How can I help this person get through it?
Yeah.
So always.
I feel like we all have so much to offer, but finding what it is that your passion or your calling, and you have to take that moving forward. And I feel like that's what you figured that out.
Yes, I really did.
Yes.
I went to before the open mic, I went to my first metaphysical fair ever. Never been before. Never did during the chakras or anything, But now, it's a part of, it's energy. We are all energy. And I had to realize that everyone is energy. You're either a positive energy or you're a negative energy.
Is there a neutral?
There is a higher vibration, a middle vibration, and a lower vibration. And a lot of times people are vibrating at their middle self and not knowing how to get to their higher self. And also sometimes because they can't get to their higher self, they go back to their lower self.
Yeah.
So, and they stay there. They stay there because they don't know how to get to their higher self. So they stay where they're comfortable at, which is middle and lower. But you're meant to go higher.
This year, you've been stepping out
A lot.
Does it have to do with COVID or
No.
or just like you're I mean, how did you just like I'm stepping out?
I just got tired. I just knew that it was another way. I got tired of being complacent. I got tired of being stuck where I was. I got tired of dealing with negativity. I got tired of dealing with being in a negative mental space.
Yes, I know. I understand.
So yeah, I was like, wait a minute, it's greater out here for me. It's greater people out here for me to be around.
Yes.
So I was like, there's a greater purpose and a greater calling on my life, so I had to go for it. So when it came to the Lions Academy, the Speakers Academy, I was like, you know what, self-investment is the best investment.
Yes.
And I said, if you never invest in yourself, you will never know your potential. And I was like, wow. So I just was like, I invested in it.
And I'm sure a lot of people don't believe this, but I believe that things happen for a reason.
They do.
And that you pick up that flyer, the open mic flyer, for a reason.
Yes.
It was a call.
Yes, it really was. It really, really was. Because I had never done that before. I was never scared to do it,
Mhm.
but I just never found an opportunity to do it. And that day, that was an opportunity that I had never embraced before. And it's funny because I found other open mics.
Uh-huh.
Now I know that they do an open mic every Sunday
Yes.
at the Nelson Atkins Museum.
Really? That's a beautiful area.
In the area, like in the park, they do like an open market where
Yes.
they have like vendors and everything.
What time on Sunday?
It starts at 11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Wow.
And I was like, wow. And you can go there, you can do open mic, you can do karaoke, you can do poetry, you can do everything. And I was like, wow, okay. So there's another opportunity, you know. But I just kept finding opportunities now. With opportunities, you have to be careful of how much time that you're giving to those opportunities.
Yes.
Because you want to be able to retreat back to yourself to make sure that you're staying on the right road.
When you participate in too many opportunities, you sometimes forget the importance of the first or the second
The
or
first.
third.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you're saying, because it's good to have a lot of good stuff, but then we
Yes.
gotta define what's best for us and just keep it with one or two.
Exactly. Just keep it minimal. Just do what you can do. Keep it minimal, but be impactful and powerful with what you do. So.
And I think that it's okay to say no. You don't have to
Yes.
say yes all the time.
Right. Yes, you don't have to say yes all the time. It's okay to say no.
I'm very happy because I think the saying is to our audiences: you're never too old to try new things, to discover yourself.
Yes.
You're having a new journey, a new adventure in your life, becoming a life coach. And
Yes.
I just met you for the first time, but I can see that that's what your passion is, moving forward to that.
Yes, because I was always the one that switched jobs. I've always been in customer service, right? And I was always the one that switched jobs because it never fulfilled me, you know? It never, like, I was always the one that was wanting to help people, you know? But I didn't want to help people in that capacity, you know? You don't want anyone yelling and cussing you out every day, you know? I want to be able to be helpful to that. Like,
Yes.
I want to know why you're upset, you know? I want to be the reason that I help you to not be upset, you know?
Yes.
So now they call me the Dr. Phil of Synchrony because I get all these calls and they are answering. I get all these calls and they're talking to me and they're like, Shauna, you've helped me so much. And I'm like, what did I do? You're just paying the bill. So they're like, thank you so much, you know. So I find that in my coworkers, I'm able to inspire them. You know, they are embracing of my life coaching journey. You know, and I never worked a job where they were embracing of that or inclusive of that. So they have many different things that they want me to do, and I'm like, wow, okay. So yeah.
Because you're authentically yourself.
Yes. Always, every day. I answer the phone bubbly no matter what. I've been up since 4:45 a.m.
Wow.
to get ready
What
for a
day?
6 a.m. shift, to do a 6 to 10 a.m. or 10:30 a.m. overtime shift. And then tomorrow I do 6 a.m. to 10, and then I go from 2:30 to 11. So, yeah.
Well, we really appreciate that you taking the time.
Oh, yes.
And
I was
just
so
talking
excited
to
about
us.
this.
Well, because for every interview, every each of we learn so much from you guys, and willing to share your deepest, maybe the negative impact in your life, and make you who you are today. You know?
Right. I was always the child that wanted more love, more attention, more acceptance, more security, more, I felt everything. I was always a feeler. Like, I would walk in the room and feel emotions, like, instantly, you know, from everybody. And I was like, well, I don't feel this way. I couldn't connect with it. And when you have a parent that does not connect with what you feel, or see what you feel, or experience or embrace what you feel, you always feel left out. You always feel like, well, I'm different, but they don't see it, you know? And so you always search for people who feel like-minded like you. And sometimes when you search for those people, you tend to get hurt a lot because you're searching for validation from those people, but you don't realize that you have to validate yourself.
Yes.
Validation comes from within.
Yes.
And the only way that you validate yourself is through self-love. And the only way you get self-love is by caring for you.
That is so true.
You know?
I think every single people that we talk to is always starting from here 1st, yourself. You have to be happy
Yes.
to
Yes.
be able to provide everything else, and people can see that you're happy and they just
Yes.
project.
Yes. And it's funny that we talk about happiness because no matter how negative life is, if you're happy, happiness overcomes joy. Joy is, well, I would say this, joy is permanent because you're always, you always experience joy. But happiness completes joy. And when you're happy and you experience joy as well, you're in what's called overflow, of life. Because you're able to give and abundantly give, and you're always replenished. So that's how a lot of people, they experience happiness but don't have joy. Or they experience joy but don't have happiness.
I have
And
to
so
say,
you can't pour into something that you don't have.
Yep.
I have to say that I'm overflowing with joy and happiness.
Mhm.
And I have to say that I'm always been a very positive person and being positive about everything, even though I'm in a negative situation.
Right.
But I think that having my husband in my life have made me very content with my life.
Right.
Even though they said, you can't depend on other people, but I think it's,
Right.
I'm already have that, but then he add on to and made it
Yes.
more, even better.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
yes. And if you asked him, you don't even have to ask him, he would say the same about us. And I felt like we were meant for each other in that kind of way.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's like you complete each other.
Yes. But we don't really need each other, but we complete each other.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
There's a difference.
Exactly. It is a difference. And I find that relationships, you go through your turbulent times.
Oh yes, everything.
And I was like, wow, like I didn't realize how many turbulent times you can have. Like in a week you can have like 4 or 5 turbulent times. What's going on? But you still love that person. If you love that person, you love that person no matter what. And it shows you that you can have unconditional love for a person and yet still have empathy for that person and be able to accept that person and accept the flaws and all, because love is patient, love is kind, love has no thought of wrong, so therefore you take that and you're able to not keep record of their wrong, let it go. Yeah.
Yes, when you keep record of them being wrong, that's like there's a problem. You really need to talk about it.
Right, exactly. And then there's like an insecurity within you that
Yes.
you don't see, and you consciously or unconsciously aware of it. And so that needs to be made aware of so that you're able to correct it, so that you can love more and be accepting more. Not accepting of the bad, but accepting of the good as well.
Yes.
So
I really think that in relationship, in any kind of relationship, when you felt like there's an issues in your heart, in your mind, then you really just need to open up and talk about it. But it's so hard for someone to open up.
To be that vulnerable.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, it is very hard.
yes.
It's easy to say.
It's easier to say a lot of things. I find myself writing a lot. I'm a poet. I write a lot. and I find myself writing through a lot of my problems.
Yes.
I won't tell the person, but I write all through my problems.
Mm.
You know, and that helps me to be able to better deal with the situation.
It's a good outlet.
It's
right?
it's a
It gets
very
it out
good
of
outlet.
you.
It gets it
And
out
you're
of
not holding
me.
it in here.
Yes, and then you're not making that point to become toxic.
Yeah.
You know, you're not toxic because you're letting it out. You have an outlet to let it out.
I got a lot of insight that way, writing it
You
out.
do.
You can see, like,
You
oh, I was thinking it
do.
was this, but when I started to write it out, I was like, oh, that's not really what I was
Yes.
thinking or feeling.
Right, and
Yeah.
it's like it was just me. It wasn't really them
Yeah.
that felt that way. You know.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, okay. So that was the inner child in me wanting validation or wanting self-love, but I didn't get that love that I didn't give myself that day. So let me just turn that around. Let me have like a pedicure day or something like that. Let me give myself some love.
Self-care.
Yeah, let me give myself some self-care and like tidy it in. And then I can go back and say, you know what, honey? I love you. Or, you know what? Best friend, it was just me. I'm sorry. You know?
I think sometimes when we say certain things, other thinks it differently because we think it that way in a negative way because that's how we were feeling that day.
Right. Exactly. That's how we were feeling. I love one of the things about the lines of candy that I love is like, what word best describes you how you're feeling right now? I was like, man, that's the best thing I've ever seen in anything because that word challenges you to be that whole entire week, you know, or whatever. And so I get up every morning now and I have sticky notes on the mirror and I write words of affirmation. I have a routine. So even though I work from home, I get up an hour early or 2 hours early and I meditate and I have my words of affirmation and I have my sayings for the day that I'm going to have a good day, a powerful day, a positive day on purpose. And I realized that while I was entreating in myself and I wasn't putting messages on Facebook and anything like that, I realized that I was not being my authentic self. I felt a part of my authentic self diminishing.
Really?
Because I'm so used to being that powerful outlet for people. And so I felt like me taking time for myself to like get my thoughts together, I felt like that was diminishing them, so diminishing myself, but also taking away from them because a lot of people really look to positivity, you know. And so I was like, wow, hold on. I was like, let me get back to my old self. What's going on here? I was like, wait a minute. I said, okay, I took my time. Now I can get back to myself because I realized what was going on. You know,
Yes.
it was like, girl, pick yourself up. You know, sometimes we have to have Girl Wash Your Face.
Yeah.
That book, it's a book out called Girl Wash Your Face, I think.
It's a good one, yeah.
And it's a good one. And so I said, girl, wash your face. You know, cleanse your face off. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself, I can make it. I'm more than a conqueror. I can do all things. You know, and so I had to do that. And you have to build yourself up. You know,
Yep.
you are your best cheerleader, and you have to be positive with yourself, no matter who's against you. You know, and so this morning I found power in that. I was like, wow. I said, I made a post and I was like, you know what? I'm getting through this. I said, this is just another stepping stone because I'm about to step into my greatness.
Yes.
So when you step into your greatness, every obstacle in the world will come against you. But you have to be stronger and greater to step over that and to walk into your greatness.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That
Yeah.
is a beautiful ending. That is, it
Yes.
is a very beautiful ending.
Yes.
We thank you so much for,
Yes.
just being here. I mean, we can go on and on because
Right.
it's so interesting. But we have to say goodbye
Right.
for now. So, well, thank you everyone for joining us today. We'll see you next week, okay? Bye now.
Bye.